Jai Sri Ram. By the grace of Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Jagannath, Lord Sri Ram, we will continue the story of Ramayan Part 3, War, Chapter 4, Ravana's Evil Trickery. So, if you have not watched the previous chapter of Ramayana, you may go to the playlist and watch all the video or click on the I button in the top so that you can connect the story of Ramayana from the beginning till to this chapter. The chapter 4 is started like this. In Lanka, Ravana received reports from his spies that the monkeys were massed outside the city. The terrified Sukha told him that Ram's army was inestimable in size and power. He recommended that Ravana immediately return Sita to Ram. Sukha's suggestion infuriated Ravana. I would not give back Sita even if the entire host of gods now stood outside Lanka. He bellowed, "Oh, when shall my arrows dart towards Rams like bees towards flower in spring? I shall eclipse his army, even as the rising sun obscures the stars." Ravana bragged of his power at length. He had no intention of making peace with Ram. The demon arrogantly asserted that his power was without compare. It would be a one-sided fight. The demon king was nevertheless impressed by the fact that the army had crossed the ocean by building a great bridge. He needed to more careful assess their power, and he ordered Sukha and another Rakshasa Sarana to enter the army ranks. Discuss yourself well and ascertain the exact size of this army. Find out who are the general and who are Ram's counselors. Tell me who is their commander in chief. Sukha and Sarana disguised themselves as monkeys and penetrated deep into Ram's army, but they could not find the end of his troops. The monkeys' forces occupied woods, mountains, rivers, and flatland for as far as could be seen. It stretched back across the bridge all the way to the opposite shore. Still moving towards Lanka, the sound of Ram's army was tremon- tumultuous, and it struck fear into the hearts of the Rakshasas. As the two spies wandered amid Ram's soldiers, Vibhishana detected them. He had them captured and brought before Ram. The monkeys kicked and pummeled them as they were dragged towards Ram, and the Rakshasa were terrified and afraid for their lives. They joined their palms and implored Ram, "Dear sir, we are two spies sent by Ravana to find out everything about your army. Please spare us." Ram laughed heartily and replied, "You need have no fear for your lives, O night rangers. If you have seen the entire army, then return to Ravana at once. If not, then I shall have Vibhishana show you whatever you wish to see. Then you may deliver the following message to your king." Ram wanted Ravana to be fully informed of the immensity of the forces that now surrounded his city. Perhaps the foolish demon would see sense. Ram asked the spies to tell Ravana to display all his strength. The next day he would see his city with its defensive walls and arches broken down by Ram's arrow. At daybreak, Ram said he would let loose his terrible anger on the Rakshasas. The two spies were released and They sped back into the city. They went trembling before Ravana and spoke. It seems to us that Ram and Lakshmana alone could uproot Lanka with its walls, palace, and the entire host Rakshasas. The glory and power of these brothers is limitless. They are united with an army of Vanaras who appeared frightful and who are billowing joyful at the prospect of war. O Lord, abandon your policy of antagonism while there is still time. Return Sita to Ram. Ravana rode angrily again. His weak-hearted followers were suggesting something to which he could never agree. Again, he said that Lanka was impenetrable travel even by the denizens of heaven. Never mind a few monkeys. The spies were obviously afraid because they had been seen beaten by the monkeys. But Ravana would never give way to fear under any circumstances. Followed by Sukha and Sarana, he went up to the top of his palace, wanting to see for himself the monkeys' army. Standing, standing at the top of his snow white palace, which was as high as a dozen of tall palm trees. Ravana gazed around. Near the wall of the city, he saw an ocean of dark colored monkeys and bears. He focused his gaze upon the head of the army and asked Sarana the name of the chief monkeys. Sarana replied, "The colossal monkey who stands facing Lanka and roaring like a furious bull is Sugriva, their king. The one by his side who looks and thunder like a dark storm could each Nilo, his commander. Near him, the massive monkey who is pacing about and repeatedly warning in fury is Angada, the crown prince. And there is Hanuman, who single-handedly led west to Lanka. You have already met him. Sarana went on the describe all of the powerful monkeys general, pointing them out one by one. The struck Rakshasa praised the power of Ram's army, which he felt was unaccessible. Ravana looked carefully at the foremost monkeys. They were all standing far with their faces towards the city, branding, brandishing thick trees and rocks resembling mountain peaks. They shouted and roared, eager for the battle to commence. Behind them stretched the vast army covering every visible parts of the island of Lanka. Ravana saw Ram with Lakshmana shining together like the sun and moon. Near them Vibhishana stood, holding his mace and surrounded by his four ministers. The demon king, agitated at heart and indignant, spoke harshly and angrily to his two spies, who stood with their head bent low. How have you dared to glorify in my presence the enemy's force? No wisdom or good sense exists in either of you. Indeed, the Lord of ignorance is born by you both alone. By sheer good luck, I have been able to retain the sovereignty of Lanka with a stupid minister like yourself. I should have you both put to death at once. My anger is hardly abated even when I think of all your past services. Get out of here. I do not want to see your face again. Ravana ordered that some other spies be quickly brought. He told them to go among Ram's army and try to ascertain their exact battle plan. They should discover everything about Ram, when he slept, when he ate, what were his habits. Equipped with this knowledge, Ravana felt confident he could repulse his army. The spies, headed by a demon named Sardula, quickly left in obedience to Ravana's command. Reaching at the top of the Suvala mountain, they gazed around at the army of monkeys. The Rakshas were beside themselves with fear as they scanned Ram's vast forces. As they moved towards the army, they were again discovered by Vibhisana, who was constantly on the lookout of Ravana's emissaries. The monkeys beat the demons severely, and dragged them before Ram. But the compassionate prince again ordered their release. The spies returned hastily to Lanka, panting and stupefied with terror. They fell before Ravana. The demon king said to Sardul, "You appear from what of color? O mighty Rakshas, I trust you did not fall into the hands of enraged enemies." So Sardula replied in a faint voice, "O Lord, it is simply not possible to spy upon this army. They were guarded on all sides of monkeys like mountains and are headed by the invincible Ram. There is no possibility of even asking them a single question. I had hardly penetrated the army before I was arrested and brought before Ram. The monkeys paraded me about, having me march back and forth in various unusual gaits. They attacked me with knees, fists, palms, and teeth, throwing me before Ram in a wretched state. Saradula described to Ravaṇa the enormous bridge over the sea, and how it was filled with monkeys and bears still pouring into Lanka. Like the other spies before him, the Rakshasa recommended that had Ravana hand back Sita. But the demon king remained resolute. He would not give up Sita even if threatened by all the world's joints together. Ramana dismissed the spies and went into his rooms thinking of Sita. Perhaps there was now an opportunity to win her over. If he could somehow convince her that Sita was dead, she might succumb. It was worth a try, and in any event, perhaps just perhaps he may end up losing her to Ram. Now might be his last chance to gain her favor. The demon decided to play a trick upon Sita. He summoned a Rakshasa named Biyujiva, an expert magician, and order him to create a head that looked exactly like Ram's head and a bow resembled Ram's own, saying, "Show it me." Biduichiva soon produced the head and bow and showed them to Ravana. The demon king was pleased, and he handed the magician a priceless necklace of gems. Ravana then told Jiva to accompany him to the Ashoka groves to see Sita. He found Sita laying beneath a tree, shining repeatedly, still guarded by numerous Rakshasas. With Jiva close behind him, Ravana went before her and began to speak. Your husband, on whose account you have revoked me, now lies killed. Oh, blessed lady, your roots are torn out and your vanity is crushed. Of what use to you now is your dead spouse? Become mine today. I shall be a better protector to you than any other. Let me tell you how Ram and his army were slain. Ramana, Ravana fabricated a whole story about how the army of monkeys was annihilated by the Rakshasas. He told Sita they had been wiped out during the night as they slept. Exhausted from their journey across the sea, all the all of the principal monkeys, including even Hanuman, were now dead. Ram's head had been as, severed by the commander of the Rakshasa. Ravana had with Jiva saw her the trick head. The magician placed the head on the ground in front of Sita. He handed the bow he had created to Ravana and then promptly vanished from the spot. Throwing down the bow next to the head, Ravana said, "Look now upon your husband. There is his famed bow. Fetched her here by Prahasta after he say had disposed of that mortal being during the night." Sita looked at the head. It resembled Ram's closely with the same large eyes and the same splendid jewels in his hair. The princess burst into a wail and fell to the ground. She cried out, censuring Kaikei, "Oh, cruel woman, be now satisfied with your works. See what you have done to the noble house of Raghu. How can I continue to live? Everything is finished. The death of a husband before his wife is declared to be a catastrophe." Sita lamented at length how hard this happened. The royal astrologers had predicted that Rams would live a long life and rule over the earth. The time spirit is irresistible to all being, cried Sita. "O Ram, surely you are now reunited with your father. But what of me? Do you not recall the Solomon vow you made at our wedding? You decided you would always protect me and take me to the next world with you. How have you deserted me now?" The princess was torn apart. Sita thought of Kausalya and Sumitra. They would both die immediately upon hearing the terrible news. Considering that she was the cause of Ram's death, Sita commended herself. Sita, she said to Ravana, "Kill me at once, O demon. Lay my body on the top of Ram and unite a husband with his wife." While Sita was wailing in this way, a messenger came to Ravana. He called the demon aside and told him that he was needed urgently in the council chamber. Prahasta had arrived and was awaiting order to commence the battle. Ravana turned away from Sita. There was no time to lose. Ram's formidable forces had to be checked at once. The demon immediately left the Ashoka group and walked swiftly towards his chambers. As soon as he left, a Rakshasi named Sarama, the wife of Bibhisana, came towards Sita, taking her away from the other Rakshasi guard. She assured the dis- distraught princess, I heard what Ravana said to you, but you should not believe him. He is a great tricker and a liar." Oh, gentle princess, be careful, restore to confidence. Rama is not dead. Even now, the demon king is making plan to defend the city from the monkey's forces, headed by your unconquerable husband and his brother. Spoke with affection to Sita. The Rakshasi was furious as her husband, and she had often comforted to grieving princess. She assured Sita that Ram's so-called head was an illusion conjured up by Ravana and his henchmen. As Sarama As Sarma and Sita spoke, they heard the crash of war drums as well as the clamor of troops and the blare of countless trumpets. It was obvious that a battle was about to commence. Sarma had heard from her husband all about Ram. She said to Sita, the mighty fight will result in complete destruction of the Ribbon. Ravana will undoubtedly be slain by Ram. No other outcome is possible. Dear Sita, I am certain you will soon be reunited with your husband. After gladdening Sita, Sarama asked if there was any service she could do for the princess. She offered to carry a message to Ram. If you wish, I can go invisibly through the skies and reassure Ram of your safety, she suggested. But Sita instead asked to be informed of Ravana's plan. She wanted to know if Ravana had any intention of releasing her or of even killing her before Ram's came. If so, then perhaps a message should be taken to reach Ram. Sarma went on observed into Ravana's chamber and listened to the discussions. After some hours, she returned again to Sita and informed her what was happening. Ravana has been exhorted by his own dear mother to return you to Ram. Sarma said, along with one of his elderly and affectionate counselor, she tried at length to make him see sense. Other wise ministers have also put forward a case for your return. They warned Ravana that the battle with Ram and the monkeys will have a disastrous result for the Rakshasa, but Ravana will now more let you go than a measure would leave its hold on treasure. He is not prepared to release you until he has laid down his life in combat. O godly one. Sita thanked Sarama for her kindness and friendship, feeling reassured that her husband would soon arrive to rescue her. She sat beneath the Simsepa tree, absorbing herself in thoughts of Ram. In his council chamber, Ravana gazed around at his ministers. They all sat mutely looking at one another. Rams felt in crossing the ocean with an unlimited number of bears and monkeys was astonishing at that and that was on tops of incredible display by a single monkey in Lanka. Surely battle with Ram would be foolhardy. Seeing the timidity of his advisors, Ravana spoke in a voice which raised around the silent chamber. I have heard everything about Rama and his prowess. I feel that we will be able to overcome him in battle. I know the Rakshasa to be unfailing and resolute. You should entertain no fear. An elderly counselor named Malayavan Ravana maternal grandfather replied, "O king, there are different ways to deal with a host. hostile enemy. Battle is only one, and it is only recommended in a situation where the enemy is clearly weaker or where every other means of diplomacy has failed. You have not explored any other avenue with Ram. Let us first try to make an alliance. Give Sita back to Ram. The outcome of a battle is a way unsure. There must be a loser on the other hand. On oh intelligent Rakshasa, negotiation can be produce a favorable result for both parties. Malai Ban spoke strongly. Ravana had abandoned virtue. He would now be swallowed up by evil. Ram, however, was devoted to virtue, and his cause was just. The demon and Rishis whom Ravana had assaulted were all supporting Ram. Furthermore, Ravana had no immunity for human and animals, nor was Ram an ordinary human. He was surely Vishnu himself. Therefore, peace should be secured by any means. Having delivered his sagacious advice, Malayavan fell silent, eyeing the ruler of Lanka and awaiting his response. Ravana knitted his brows. He breathed heavily in anger, clenching his fist. He replied furiously, "How have you uttered such harsh and ill-considered word? Surely you have come under the sway of the enemy. On what basis do you hold as powerful the wretched Ram, a merry human who has been abandoned by his father and has as his support only a band of monkeys? See him struck down by me in the short while. Having somehow crossed the sea and reached Lanka, will nevertheless not return with his life. There is no doubt whatsoever." Malyavan made no reply. It seems that Ravana was bent on his own ruin. After uttering benediction, wishing him victory, the old minister left for his own residence. Ravana set about making all arrangements for Lanka's defense. He posted powerful generals at each of the city four gates, all of them equipped with a force of hundreds of thousands of fierce Rakshasas. Ravana himself would visit each gate in turn, satisfied though that everything was secure. Secure. The demon then retired to his own chamber. This is how Ravana evil tricker by showing the dead head to Sita, and he planned how to attack, how to defend the city from Rams. If you got some information regarding the regarding Ramayana, you may like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share. जय जगन्नाथ, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय श्री राम.